All right, so now we're in this book called Aboriginal Monuments of the State of New York, comprising the results of original surveys and explorations with an illustrative appendix by E.G. Squier. Again, very famous person. Says here, foreign member of the British Archaeological Association, member of the American Ethnological Society, the Philadelphia Academy of Natural Sciences, the New York Historical Society, the Massachusetts Historical Society, the Historical and Antiquarian Society of Tennessee, etc., etc., all right? By the Smithsonian Institution, 1849, E.G. Squier. All right, he also surveyed the Mississippi mounds, and he also found Hebrew stuff there. And he's going to let you know what he found here in the state of New York, all right, in the Aboriginal monuments. All right, so we're in chapter 6, and it says here, concluding observations. By whom were the Aboriginal monuments of Western New York erected, and to what era may they be ascribed? The consideration of these questions has given rise to a vast amount of speculation, generally not of the most philosophical, nor yet of the most profitable kind. If the results arrived at have been erroneous, unsatisfactory, or extravagant, it may be ascribed to the circumstance that the facts heretofore collected have been too few in number and too poorly authenticated to admit of correct conclusions, not less than to the influence of preconceived notions, and to that constant leaning towards the marvelous, which is a radical defect of many minds. Rigid criticism is especially indispensable in archaeological investigations, yet there is no department of human research in which so wide a range has been given to conjecture. All right, so you see a lot of this stuff is just guessing, hypothesis they have. He's letting you know, conjecture. Men seem to have indulged the belief that here nothing is fixed, nothing certain, and have turned aside into this field as one where cleverer rules, which elsewhere regulate philosophical research, are not enforced, and where every species of extravagance may be indulged in with impunity. I might adduce numberless illustrations of this remark. The Indian who wrought the rude outlines upon the rock at Dighton little dreamed that his work would ultimately come to be regarded as affording indisputable evidence of Hebrew, Phoenician, and Scandinavian adventure and colonization in America again. Whoa, the Indian, he never thought, right? That's what he's saying. He never dreamed that his work would ultimately come to be regarded as affording indubitable evidence of Hebrew, Phoenician, and Scandinavian adventures and colonization in America, and the builders of the rude defenses of Western New York as little suspected that Celt and Tartar, and even the apocryphal Mata with his 10 ships would in this, the 19th century of our faith, be vigorously invoked to yield paternity to their labors. All right, so he's letting you know that this is the true old world. They're finding all these similarities in these mounds, right? Again, this is from the Smithsonian Institute. He's letting you know. So what is indubitable? It means impossible to doubt, unquestionable and undividable truth, unquestionable, undoubtable, undisputable. This is undisputable, unarguable, undebatable. You cannot debate this. Uncontestable, undeniable, irrefutable, incontrovertible, unmistakable, unequivocal, certain sure. This is a certain sure, positive, definite, absolute, conclusive, emphatic, categorical, compelling, watertight, clear cut. All right, and there's more. So let's go back again. Indubitable evidence, indubitable, unquestionable, a certain fact. This is undebatable that these monuments, evidence of Hebrew, Phoenician, what they call Phoenician, right? It's just the same Paleo Hebrew. What are Phoenicians? But we got the Smithsonian Institution letting us know it's undebatable what they found here. It's called An Authentic History of Lancaster County in the state of Pennsylvania by J.I. Mombert, D.D., member of the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. This is written in 1869. All right, so I just want to show you that this is recorded here as well, that he said that the natives, again, were of complexion black but by design like the gypsies, and their skin must need be swarthy. Swarthy. All right, just wanted to show you. And again, their language is lofty yet narrow, but like the Hebrew. Like the Hebrew. So you can see this is actually recorded, authentic history. All right, but I want to show you one more thing. So we're on page 68 of the same book, Authentic History of Lancaster County in the state of Pennsylvania. And again, they're reading off William Penn's letters and notes. And he says here, it says note number 26, it says, for their original, I am ready to believe them of the Jewish race, or Hebrew, right? Hebrew, those from the other side, the feathers, Eber. All right, I mean of the stock of the 10 tribes. And he don't just mean any kind of Jewish. He just means the stock of the 10 tribes. The lost 10 tribes, Israelites, Jasharala, the sons of Jacob. In the next place, I find them of the like countenance, and their children of so lively resemblance that a man would think himself in Duke's Place or Berry Street in London when he sees them. So he's saying, if you know the history of this place, he's talking about in London. This is actually a Jewish town, and Berry Street in London is all Jews there. So he's saying he feels like when he's seeing the American Indian children playing, how they interact with each other, he feels like he's seeing the same thing when he sees the Jews in Duke's Place or Berry Street in London. He says right here, but this is not all. They agree in rites, so they're rites as well. They reckon by moons. They offer their first fruits. They have a kind of Feast of Tabernacles, and the Feast of Tabernacles, that's the real Thanksgiving, the Feast of Tabernacles. They are said to lay their altar upon 12 stones. Their mourning a year, customs of women, with many other things that do not now occur. All right, so William Penn is letting you know he knows they are of 10 lost tribe stock.